##### prologue. Lily twirled in Lucas's arms, a childhood chum and her boyfriend of half a decade. A soft smile graced her lips as she mused, I never thought my best friend would turn into the love of my life. This week has been a dream come true. I'll cherish these days forever, Lily said, her voice filled with warmth. Lucas spun her around, a gentle smile on his face. He pulled her close, his lips brushing against hers in a tender kiss. I'm glad I could make you happy, he murmured softly. For a whole week, Lucas had been by Lily's side. It was a rare occurrence since they lived in different cities and were swamped with their own lives. Lucas hailed from Rose Hill City, while Lily was from Brayton City. Lily was a tough, nails girl who had joined the military. Lucas, on the other hand, was studying medicine. Despite their busy schedules, they had managed to keep their long-distance relationship alive. In the villa where they spent 7 days, they shared a bed each night, cooked meals together every day, and spent hours lost in kisses and reminiscing about their childhood. Lucas was due to fly back home the next afternoon, so they had a romantic in-villa date. Lucas prepared a special dinner, and they danced to romantic music for over an hour. They were dressed to the nines, as if they were in a 5-star restaurant, but in reality, they were in a private villa rented by Lily's parents for safety reasons. I miss this. I've missed you so much, Lucas said, his voice laced with longing. Hearing his words, Lily bit her lip. Regret filled her voice as she said, I'm sorry. Because of me, we had to take so many security measures, and I couldn't visit you anymore. Lucas shook his head reassuringly. It's okay. It's not your fault. I promise everything will work out, he said. The reason was that Lily had gotten involved with a private organization during her military service. It had put her life in jeopardy. The organization was supposed to save lives, but Lily discovered it was just a front, and the leaders had ulterior motives. She wanted out, but it was easier said than done. That's why she was in a secured house, separated from her family for their safety. It was also why she and Lucas hadn't seen each other for 2 months. As they danced, Lucas let out a soft chuckle. You always wanted to save the world, but you ended up with the wrong crowd. Stuff happens, he said. Yeah, it sure does, Lily echoed, laughing along with him. Thank you for understanding me and always having my back. I love you so much, she said, her eyes filled with affection. I love you, Lucas declared, cupping her cheek gently. I'd do anything for you. Soon, the music changed to a familiar tune. It was a slow song that Lily used to dedicate to Lucas in high school. Lily let out a soft chuckle, remembering her one-sided love for him back then. God, this song takes me back to when I cried over you because I thought you'd never see me as a girlfriend. Lily exclaimed. So, that's why you tried wearing skirts and high heels? Lucas teased. They both burst into laughter because Lily was more of a jeans and boots kind of girl. I've always had my eye on you, Lily, Lucas said. His expression turned serious as he revealed, I wanted to pursue you at the right time, not in high school. I know that now, Lily said, smiling as she looked into his intense dark eyes. For a few seconds, they were silent. Lucas's gaze landed on her lips, and he didn't hesitate to kiss her passionately. They stood still, lost in the heat of the kiss. Lily felt her cheeks flush with warmth. When Lucas pulled away, he took out a velvet box from his trouser pocket. Inside were 2 necklaces made of golden bead chains with golden tag pendants. This is for you and me. Something to remember each other by forever, Lucas said. Lily pouted as Lucas put the necklace on her. I have so many gifts from you. I'll never forget you, she remarked. Lucas chuckled. I know. I just wanted to give you one more, he replied. He put on his own necklace. His pendant had Lily Rose carved on it, while hers had Lucas. Lucas held her pendant and said, When you're sad and I'm far away, hold on to this. He held his own pendant and added, I'll do the same, thinking of you. Lily felt a pang of sentimentality. Why are your words so emotional? She asked. Lucas didn't answer. Instead, he pulled her close and continued dancing to the music. Eventually, he whispered in her ear, Lily, I don't know when I'll see you again. I can't hold back tonight. I want you, Lily. Lily gasped. Truth be told, it was hard for her to resist him because she loved him deeply. But they had remained chaste because their families were good friends. They didn't want to disappoint their parents. However, since they were alone, Lily thought, why not? She loved him, and she knew Lucas would never hurt her. That night, Lily and Lucas made love for the first time. Their bodies moved in harmony, under the white satin sheets. It was the early hours of the morning when they finally decided to rest. As Lily snuggled into Lucas's chest, she heard him say, "I'll always love you, Lily. No matter what. Remember that." In her drowsy state, Lily simply replied, "I love you too." Lily thought her life was perfect despite her current situation. With Lucas by her side, she felt she could face any challenge. But when she woke up the next day, Lucas was gone. The security guards said he had left in a hurry at dawn, assuming she knew. Lily dialed Lucas's number again and again, but his phone was off. "Lucas, where are you?" she murmured, her voice filled with worry. She called everyone who knew Lucas, including his parents. To her surprise, Lucas's father said, "Isn't he with you, Lily? I got his text last night saying he'd stay longer with you." Everyone started searching for Lucas, but he seemed to have vanished into thin air. They later found out that he had withdrawn a large sum of money a month ago. In the following days, Lily escaped the villa that was supposed to protect her. She was determined to find Lucas herself. She went through a roller coaster of emotions, panic, desperation, anger, and denial. "Lily, maybe you missed something. Go back to the villa and look for clues," her brother suggested during one of their trips to Lucas's medical school. So, she went back to the villa and rummaged through her room. Then she saw a note that had slipped under her bedside table. Lucas had left her a note. Lily opened it frantically and read, "Lily, I'm sorry it had to be this way, but I knew I wouldn't have the courage to tell you in person. I love you with all my heart, but I have to leave. I wish I could say I'll be back, but the truth is, I don't know what the future holds for me. Don't wait for me. Don't look for me, because you won't find me. Live your life and be happy.
Goodbye.
Your best friend, Lucas."
Goodbye.
"Don't wait for me." The words echoed in her head. Lily's heart skipped a beat. Tears welled up in her eyes. She couldn't believe it. The man she had trusted with her heart had left her without a proper explanation. "Lucas!" Lily screamed.
Why?
"What did I do to deserve this? Lucas! Lucas, tell me why?" She screamed until her voice was hoarse, but her questions remained unanswered. 9 months passed. Despite Lucas's letter, Lily and her family continued their search for him. Only God knew how much time and effort they had spent trying to find him. But then, something new entered her life, and everything changed. From her bedroom, Lily watched a baby sleeping in a crib. A tear rolled down her cheek as she thought about the new beginning this baby represented. Lily decided to close this chapter of her life and start anew. She opened her bedside drawer and took out the note Lucas had left. She walked to the bathroom and flushed it down the toilet. "I accept your goodbye, Lucas," she said softly. Chapter 1. The Big Fish. 10 years had flown by. "Sergeant, are you heading back? We've got a high-profile target to safeguard in Copland. There's a groundbreaking ceremony for a residential building," one of Lily's subordinates, Gunnar, said through her Bluetooth earpiece. Lily yawned without bothering to cover her mouth as she stepped out of the private car that had taken her to the airport. She was about to board a business flight home after a week of service at Copland Troop Command. "Is this a Black Hawk mission?" "I don't recall getting any notice," Lily replied. Gunnar, a National Guard like her, but of a lower rank, explained, "No, Sergeant. It's an MVM mission, but they asked for our help because it's a complex one. Since we have a partnership with MVM, here we are." MVM was a local security agency in Copland. They had joined forces with the Black Hawk to offer top-notch security to high-end clients. In return, Black Hawk had to lend its employees to MVM. "Well, as long as they pay well," Lily mumbled. "Oh, they do. It's 3 times the usual pay, Sergeant," Gunnar revealed.
What?
"How come I'm not part of this mission?" Lily groaned. She gritted her teeth and said, "I could really use the extra cash."
Gunnar laughed.
"You're not short on money, Sergeant. Sometimes I wonder why you joined the military in the first place," he said. "Yeah, well, kicking butt is my forte. I was a tomboy back then, and I guess that part of me will never change," Lily said with a chuckle. "Anyway, I'm about to check in for my flight. Stay safe and tell the team to do the same. Just before hanging up, Lily asked, how complex is this mission? Level 3 assassination threat, Gunnar replied. What? Lily exclaimed. Her face flushed with shock. Level 3. They rarely dealt with a level 3 assassination threat. It meant a private and illegal hit squad was after the big fish. Who the hell is this big fish? A politician? Someone of royal blood? Or a prosecutor? Lily asked, still in disbelief. Ha! Gunnar laughed. No, just a big shot businessman. He probably made a lot of enemies. Strangely enough, he took over the company just 3 months ago. Must be a huge business, Lily remarked. Yeah, it's a conglomerate, the Thompson group of companies, Gunnar replied. Hearing the company name, Lily froze. It had been ages since she last heard it. She stammered, the Thompson group of companies. Who is the big fish? Lucas Thompson, the new CEO. Gotta go. Sarge, duty calls, Gunnar said and hung up before Lily could react. Lucas Thompson. How could she forget that name? Her throat went dry, and her face turned as white as a sheet. People in the check-in line pushed past her, but she didn't notice. Lucas, she whispered. So the bastard is alive after all? A shiver ran down her spine, and anger flared in her eyes. She remembered the man who had broken her heart into a million pieces. How long has it been? 9? No, 10 years, she thought. It had been a decade since Lucas Thompson had vanished without a trace. Lucas wasn't just any man. He was her best friend. They had been together for 5 years, and she had once believed they were meant to be. She had given him her all, but he had left her with just a note. He had never called, never let her know if he was alive. So, he is back, Lily muttered. Lily recalled the first year after Lucas's disappearance. She had gone through all the stages of grief, hurt, denial, and finally acceptance. But deep down, she had never fully closed the chapter because she had never confronted him. She had always wondered why he had left. Miss, are you in line or not? A young man's voice interrupted her thoughts. She ignored him and got back in line to check in for her flight. Throughout the security checks and the walk to the airport's VIP lounge, she was completely lost in thought. An hour before boarding time, Lily's phone rang again. It was Gunnar.
Sarge.
We've been ambushed. We're stuck on Freeway 35. Are you still up for some extra cash? Gunnar shouted over the phone. Lily stopped in her tracks. Anger flashed across her face. Why would she want to save the man who had crushed her heart? Her hands turned cold as she held the phone tightly to her ear. On the other end, she could hear the faint sound of silenced firearms. A silencer never completely eliminated the sound of gunshots. It just muffled it. Gia is hit. I repeat, Gia's hit. The voice of her colleague snapped her back to reality. She stood up abruptly and said into the phone, I'm coming. Hold your position, Private. Sure, Sarge. We'll try to stay alive, Gunnar said nervously. After hanging up, Lily ran towards the airport exit, leaving most of her belongings in the VIP lounge. She only took her phone, her wallet in her trouser pocket, her Bluetooth earpiece in her ear, and a Glock 22 pistol under her leather jacket. As she ran, she called her contacts in Copland City. I need the fastest motorcycle you can find near the airport and clearance to Freeway 35, she said urgently. From the airport road to the main highway, Lily dashed like a bolt of lightning. Her determined eyes were fixed on the road ahead, and her long, light, brown hair flew behind her with every step. Finally, a police motorcycle found her on the way. The officer on it called out, Sergeant Lily Wright? Your ride. She hopped on without a word, put on the helmet, and sped off. The motorcycle sliced through the streets like an arrow. As Lily maneuvered, she leaned into the turns, adjusting her grip and shifting her weight with each twist of the throttle. Lily reached the scene in 10 minutes, cutting the travel time in half. She saw 2 vehicles blocking 3 Lexus cars. One was a blue SUV, and the other was a 10-wheeler truck deliberately blocking the freeway exit. In total, she counted 10 men shooting at the 3 Lexus cars that carried her team and the big fish. She targeted the truck and drove past the SUV, dodging the flying bullets. She accelerated and then slid off the bike, rolling on the ground. After the bike crashed into the truck, the attackers panicked and emerged from their hiding places. Lily's teammates immediately covered her as she got up on her knees. She drew her pistol and fired.
Bang! 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 Bang!
5 shots, 5 targets down, whether alive or not. When Sergeant Lily Wright set her sights on a target, she never missed. Hashtag Chapter 2, The Lion. Sarge, thank God you came, Gunnar said as he approached Lily. Of course I came, Lily replied. With Lily reinforcing the squad, the teamwork became even more efficient. Gunnar and his colleagues felt more confident under Lily's leadership. They managed to disable most of the attackers, and when the police arrived for backup, the gunfight finally stopped. Lily inspected the 3 bulletproof Lexus cars in the middle of the crossfire. The windshield of the first car was shattered, and she assumed that was how Gia had gotten shot. Around them, police officers were questioning her team members, paramedics were taking the wounded attackers to the ambulance, and crime scene investigators were taking pictures and collecting evidence. Anyone else hurt? Lily asked Gunnar. Gia is on her way to the hospital. Nolan just has a scratch. He'll be fine, Gunnar reported. Johnson and Rick are unharmed. And the client? Lily paused, finally remembering the big fish. Mr. Thompson is okay. His car's windshields didn't break, and his personal bodyguard and driver told him to stay inside, Gunnar said. MVM has sent another 2 Lexus cars to pick him up. The ones here have to stay for evidence collection. Lily tried to avoid looking at the cars that had arrived. She knew Lucas would be getting into one of them, and she couldn't bear to see him. She was afraid she might lose control and harm the client. Instead, she said to Gunnar, "Then, I guess I'll be leaving Dash." Gunnar raised an eyebrow. Aren't you going to meet the client? Technically, you're our boss.
You should talk to him, he said.
I have nothing to say to him. Keep escorting him as planned. I'll call MVM to send more men to protect the big fish until he leaves Copland, Lily replied, then turned on her heel and walked towards the detective in charge of the investigation. Gunnar chased after her.
Wait.
What's the rush, Sarge? He asked. Lily turned to him and reminded, I need to get home, remember? Lily gave her statement to the lead detective. Afterward, the detective looked at her ID and said, You have an exciting job, Sergeant. Part-time National Guard and full-time private military contractor for Black Hawk. Are there any openings at Black Hawk? You can apply anytime, Detective, Lily said casually. I might just do that. I've always thought all Black Hawk members were cool, the detective said with a laugh. We're good here. You can go, but we'll be in touch. I'm easy to find, Detective, Lily responded. Just as Lily was about to leave, she realized she didn't have a car or a bike. She had wrecked the police motorcycle when she crashed it into the 10-wheeler truck. She was about to ask a police officer for a ride when Gunnar called from behind. Sarge, Mr. Thompson wants to take you to the airport. Lily froze in her tracks. It took her a few seconds to regain her senses, and then she kept walking, pretending not to hear. But Gunnar wouldn't take the hint and kept calling her, Sergeant. Lily, boss. A black, armored Lexus 500 pulled up and blocked her path. Gunnar stepped out of the car and said, Boss. He leaned towards the vehicle and added, Mr. Thompson wants to talk to you and take you to the airport. The groundbreaking ceremony has been rescheduled because of the attack. Lily saw the confusion in Gunnar's eyes. His look seemed to say, Be professional, boss. What the hell are you doing? Left with no choice, Lily reluctantly got into the car. Immediately, she felt Lucas's presence. His energy seemed to engulf her, but she refused to look at him as she settled into the back seat. Gunnar took the front seat opposite Lucas's driver. She noticed another Lexus car drive past them, leading the way. Then, they all drove off. Mr. Thompson, this is our operations director, Sergeant Lily Wright. Like me, she's a National Guard, Gunnar introduced. Lily remained silent, her eyes fixed on the front. Beside her, she heard Lucas say in a deep voice, It's a pleasure to meet you, Sergeant Wright. Of course, what did she expect? He had left her without a word. Now, he was acting as if they had never had a relationship. It stung a little. She had cried so much for him when he disappeared, but this was how he treated her now. Still, Lily thought it was probably for the best. She couldn't handle a confrontation with him right now or ever. Lucas took a deep breath. Thank you for coming to my rescue, he began. You're mistaken, Mr. Thompson. I came for my team, not for you, Lily interrupted, turning to face him. Her tone was cold, and her face was grim. Finally, she got a good look at Lucas. She had to admit, he took her by surprise. This was a completely different Lucas Thompson. The man she had loved used to have a gentle expression and a modest build. But the Lucas sitting next to her now was muscular, as if he had been working out for all the years he was gone. His muscles were practically bursting out of his clothes. Moreover, his unyielding and domineering look suggested he had been through a lot. Lily found it really strange. He looked more mature, and his dark eyes were sharp, as if they could pierce through her. His skin was tanned, and he had a slight beard. She also noticed a long, thin scar on the side of his left cheek. For a brief moment, she felt a twinge of concern. She wondered what had happened to him all these years and why he was facing a level 3 assassination threat. A small part of her wanted to forget her pride, hug him, and cry out all her anger and pain. But she held back, letting her bitterness take over. After all, a lot had changed in her life. She was also in a relationship. Yes, that's right. I have Jake, my boyfriend, Lily told herself as she continued to study the man beside her. Lucas was wearing a black suit and a dark violet shirt. His legs were crossed, and his left elbow rested on the armrest, his fist supporting his chiseled jaw. He sported the latest edition Omega watch and smelled of Versace cologne. He remained calm in the face of her cold words. No wonder Black Hawk has such a great reputation, he said. You're a private army led by a lion, Lucas chuckled, glancing at Gunnar through the rear view mirror. As Lucas talked, the car sped along, but to Lily, everything seemed to be moving in slow motion. Being so close to him was making it hard for her to keep her composure. Lions have always symbolized power, bravery, courage, strength, and ferocity. I saw how you took down those men, Sergeant. You are fearless out there, Lucas said, looking back at Lily. She didn't say a word. From the corner of her eye, she saw the panic on Gunnar's face. The poor guy was probably worried he wouldn't get paid because of how she was treating the client. I'll make sure to compensate you and your team for your hard work today. I'll increase the pay to 5 times the standard rate. I'll also cover your colleagues' medical expenses, Lucas assured, his eyes fixed on her. Lily didn't react. She just stared straight ahead and crossed her arms. Don't I get a thank you?
Lucas asked.
At this point, Gunnar was glaring at Lily. He seemed to have forgotten that she outranked him. But Lily understood why he was reacting that way, so she turned to Lucas indifferently and said, Thank you, Mr. Thompson. Finally, they rode in silence. When they reached the airport, Lily was ready to get out of the car. Lucas, however, unexpectedly asked, Will I see you again, Sergeant Wright? I think never, Lily said coldly. She had just opened the car door when Lucas replied, Really? He chuckled and said, On the contrary, I think we will. Lily snapped her head towards him, and their eyes met. Chapter 3. Aiden. Lily? My favorite daughter in the world is back. Lily's mother, Scarlett, exclaimed. Lily rolled her eyes. Mom, you can't have a favorite daughter. I'm your only daughter, she replied. Scarlett laughed. Lily's father, Caleb, who was sipping tea in the living room, also laughed. Yes, at 33, Lily still lived with her parents. Since her job often took her to different places, having her own place wasn't necessary, especially since she had Aiden. How was work, Lily? Caleb asked. Lily put her bag on the floor. It was a counter-drug operation.
Pretty easy, she replied.
Did you get shot, sweetie? Caleb asked, looking her over. Lily smirked. I wouldn't be here if I got shot, she said proudly. Very good, her mother said. She sat down beside Caleb and asked, Why don't you join us for tea? Lily hesitated. I think I'll go see Aiden, she said. Is something wrong, Lily? You seem distracted, Scarlett asked with a frown. Lily had reached the foot of the staircase. She stopped and thought about whether she should tell her parents about Lucas. The Thompsons and the Wrights had once been good friends and business partners. But Lucas's disappearance 10 years ago had created a rift between the two families. The Wrights blamed the Thompsons for breaking their trust. Lily also felt that Lucas's mother had become distant towards her. It seemed as if she blamed Lily instead. Decades of friendship had been destroyed when Lily's oldest brother found evidence that the Thompsons were hiding Lucas's whereabouts. Given this, was it wise to bring up the painful past? She didn't think so. So, she replied to her mother, "Nothing, Mom. I'm just tired." "Then, take a rest, Lily," Caleb said. "Your mom and I are going to have some alone time." Her parents giggled, and Lily cringed. She knew exactly what that meant. Her parents were seniors, but they still had an active sex life. She ran up the stairs and first checked on Aiden. It was the weekend, and he didn't have school. The young boy was sound asleep. So Lily went to her room, took a bath, and changed her clothes. Then she called her boyfriend, Jake, to let him know she was home. Jake was out of town on a business trip. So, she had no other plans and wanted to spend more time with her son. She soon went back to Aiden's room. Seeing Aiden awake, Lily said, "Hey." The boy turned to her and shouted, "Mommy, you're back." Lily wasn't usually a crybaby, but seeing her son, who looked so much like Lucas, brought tears to her eyes. 10 years ago, she had given herself to Lucas. She had lost her virginity, but that experience had given her Aiden. Since Lucas had disappeared and the relationship between her family and the Thompsons had soured, only the Wright family knew about Aiden. Lily had given birth at a private clinic. Her family had homeschooled Aiden for the first few years. They only let him enroll in a regular school when they were sure the Thompsons were no longer watching them and all their business ties had been cut. "Hey, Mom. Why are you crying? Did you get hurt arresting bad guys?" Aiden asked, concerned. "No, Aiden." Lily quickly shook her head. She wiped away her tears and said, "I just missed you." Aiden hugged her. "I missed you too, Mom. Can you take a break from Black Hawk? Can you practice martial arts with me after school?" he asked. Lily chuckled. "Sure, Aiden, but any of your uncles can teach you martial arts," she said. "I know. I just want to learn from you." Aiden said. Okay. It's better to learn from the best anyway," Lily said, winking at her son. Lily and Aiden spent the first hour playing video games together. Then they had dinner and watched a movie. The movie, which was supposed to be an adventure film, featured a father and son facing challenges. It probably made Aiden think of his father. "Mom, is my real father still missing?" he asked. Hearing her son's question, Lily stiffened. Should she tell him about Lucas now? She wasn't sure what to do. She took a deep breath and replied, "Yes, Aiden. He is still missing." That night, Lily stayed by Aiden's side. She lay awake for a few hours, thinking about how much her son needed a father figure. Should I introduce him to Lucas? Or should Jake and I get married? I can't stay single forever, Lily thought. The next morning, the sun's rays hit Lily's face. She winced and woke up in Aiden's bed, where he was hugging her tightly. Her phone rang, and she quickly picked it up, hoping not to wake her son. "Lily Wright speaking," she said, still half asleep. "Sergeant Lily Wright, this is Sergeant Major Patton. I need you to report to the Fort Eagle military camp this Wednesday. You've been called for active duty," the officer said on the other end. "Active duty? May I ask, sir, what for?" "I just completed my monthly service at Copland Troop Command - she asked, frowning. "Sergeant, you know that even as a part-time National Guard, you can be called to duty at any time," the officer reminded her. "For now, I can only say it's classified. You know the drill." "Yes, my apologies, Major. I'll be there on Wednesday," Lily reluctantly agreed. "And Miss Wright," the Major added, "prepare for a long-term assignment. You may have to put your full-time job on hold. Inform your family, because we don't know how long this secret mission will last." After the call, Lily fell silent. She was going on a secret mission, and its duration was unknown. She looked at Aiden and felt guilty, because she was going to be away again. "What in the world is this secret mission?" she muttered to herself. "On the bright side, Lily, this mission might help you decide what to do about Lucas, maybe even stop you from thinking about him." That's what Lily thought until Wednesday arrived. Hashtag Chapter 4, New Mission. "Somebody looks like they're carrying a guilty conscience," Lily murmured softly when she saw her oldest brother, Liam Wright, in the dining area of their home early that morning. If anyone knew about Lucas Thompson's return, it would be Liam. After all, he had previously managed the joint businesses between their family and the Thompsons. "Good morning, Lily," Scarlett greeted with a smile from the far end of the table. Your dad and I made waffles. It's a special occasion because you're home, and your brother Liam came to visit. What a wonderful surprise. Take a seat, Lily, Liam said, gesturing to the chair in front of him. Lily narrowed her eyes at her older brother, saying sarcastically, "It is a surprise that Liam is here. I wonder what made Big Brother fly out here so early in the morning." She made sure to emphasize every word. At first, Liam didn't respond. He glanced at their parents, and seeing they were busy getting breakfast ready, he leaned across the table and said, "I wasn't sure if we were ready for Lucas's return. I wanted to get some answers before telling you. I had men follow the Thompsons, but they were being careful. I still haven't found out anything about what happened 10 years ago." "Did you also keep this news from reaching Brayton?" Lily asked. Surely, something as significant as the lost heir of the Thompson group of companies returning would have been on TV and in online articles. "I didn't have to. The Thompsons kept everything under wraps, from Lucas's arrival to his CEO appointment," Liam replied. He looked at Lily with concern and asked, "Do you believe me?" Lily took a deep breath and thought about it. The anger and pain she had felt before came rushing back. "I believe you because I love you," she finally answered. "You'll always be my little sister," Liam said, reaching for her hand. "I'd do anything to protect you and get answers, but the Thompsons have grown more powerful over the years. Their influence runs so deep that they're very good at covering their tracks." "Good morning, guys, Uncle Liam," Aiden's voice echoed through the dining hall. He ran towards Liam and jumped into his arms. "Easy, buddy. You're not a little kid anymore." Liam laughed as he ruffled the boy's hair. "It's been a while, Uncle," Aiden said. "It has, Aiden. And you're already 9 years old. You're too big to be jumping into people's arms," Liam joked. The dining area filled with laughter and warm conversation. Aiden had a lot to tell Liam about martial arts and school. Soon, breakfast began. Aiden sat beside Lily and announced, "Mommy stayed in my room last night. We played video games and watched a movie." "Great bonding time with Mom, eh?" Liam asked, giving Lily an approving nod. "Yep." Aiden turned to his grandparents and said, "Waffles, please." As Aiden ate, Lily looked at her older brother and said, "Well, the Thompsons have their secrets and so do we. I guess we're even." But as she said those words, she couldn't help but wonder if it was really fair, especially for Aiden. Lily knew she had a big decision to make, one that involved Lucas. "Wednesday. Do you have to go? How many more years do you have to serve in the army?" Aiden complained. His brown eyes were narrowed, and his face was serious. "Can't you quit?" Lily paused. She knelt down in front of Aiden and explained, "I made a deal with the army. I was supposed to be in the infantry and get deployed to another country. My contract should have ended, but because I didn't want to be away from you, I pulled some strings to become a part-time National Guard." She pinched his cheek and added, "As a result, my contract got extended, and I can't just buy my way out of a military contract." "Don't worry, Aiden. My contract ends next year, and then I'll only work for Black Hawk. We'll have more time together," she promised, winking at him. Lily hesitated for a moment before smiling at her son. "And I think it's time for Mom to settle down. I'll marry your Uncle Jake, and you'll have a daddy dash." "What?" Aiden shouted. "I don't like Uncle Jake." Jake had been Lily's boyfriend for 2 years. She had never understood why Aiden disliked him so much. Jake had never done anything wrong to Aiden, but her son just seemed to have an innate aversion to him. To Lily, Jake was a great catch. He was handsome and one of the few men who accepted her past and Aiden. It wasn't easy for a single military mom to find a man who was so understanding. "But I thought you wanted a father?" Lily asked. "Jake adores you." "He's a fake," Aiden growled. "How can you tell he's fake?" Lily asked, but Aiden didn't answer. Instead, he rolled his eyes. "Then who do you want me to marry?" Lily asked. "My real dad," Aiden said, crossing his arms. "That's not going to happen," Lily replied as she chose a jacket from the closet. "Why?" Aiden asked angrily. Lily turned to her son. "Because I told you he's missing." "He left us, Aiden," she reminded him. She turned to pick up her duffel bag. Just as she did, she heard Aiden's soft cry. "He didn't love us?" he asked. His question broke Lily's heart. They had talked about Lucas before, and she had always been honest about his leaving. But this was the first time he had cried about it. "Look, I don't care if we don't find my dad, but not Jake. I don't want him." Aiden said bitterly. Lily hugged her son. She stroked his back and said, "Okay, I won't get married." Sometimes, Lily felt that Aiden had impossibly high standards for a father, and she couldn't even put her finger on what they were. She pulled away to wipe the tears from Aiden's face and said, "Let's talk about this later. I'll be on a mission, and I don't know when I'll be back. I might not be able to call either. You know how it is." "Yeah," Aiden said flatly. After a while, he said, "Be safe, Mom. I love you."
"You know I will," Lily replied.
"I love you too." Hours later, Lily found out the full details of her new mission. She was supposed to protect a very important person. When she met this person, her heart sank. She thought silently, "No. Why didn't I see this coming?" Chapter 5. Come back to me. He is a VIP who needs protection. Your main job will be to ensure his safety. The major shouted over the noise of the military helicopter, which was flying 10,000 feet above the ground. This was an unusual assignment. When Lily had arrived at the military camp earlier, Sergeant Major Patton had only made her sign a confidentiality contract, and then they had boarded a helicopter. It was only in the air that the major had explained the mission. It seemed she was going to protect a private individual from a threat, but who? That was still a secret. After some time, they finally reached their destination. Earlier, Lily had thought they were approaching a familiar city, but her senior officer had kept distracting her with questions, and she hadn't been able to figure out where they had landed. The helicopter landed on a rooftop. Everything seemed familiar to Lily, but looking at the city from several feet above made it hard to identify the place. Lily reluctantly followed the military officer down the building, where bodyguards escorted them. They walked through an elegant hallway and into a private office. The man she was assigned to protect was sitting in a leather chair, his back turned to them. Whoever this is should have heard the doors open. Why is his chair facing the other way? Lily wondered as she studied the chair. Eventually, a blonde-haired man announced their arrival. "Sir, Major Sergeant Patton is here with Sergeant Lily Wright." The chair slowly turned around, and when Lily saw the man, her hands started to sweat, and her heart sank. It was Lucas Thompson, Aiden's father.
"No.
Why didn't I see this coming?" Lily thought to herself. No wonder the place seemed so familiar. She was in Rose Hills, Lucas's hometown, and the location of the Thompson Group of Companies headquarters. Major Patton walked towards Lucas and shook his hand. "Mr. Thompson. It's good to see you again," he said.
"What?"
They've met before. Lily was confused. "Sergeant Wright, this is Mr. Lucas Thompson. He's the new CEO of the Thompson Group of Companies, and right now his life is in danger. He requested military help, and we've chosen you for the job," Major Patton said. "You'll report to Mr. Thompson constantly, which means you'll be staying in the same building as him until the authorities catch the mastermind behind the assassination threat." Lily stood there like a statue. She swallowed hard several times. Finally, she took a deep breath and said, "The military isn't supposed to be used by private individuals. I refuse to accept this mission." "Miss Wright, that's true, but if it's for the benefit of the federal state, we'll step in," Major Patton said simply. "And that's why you're here. Besides, didn't your family also use the military for personal protection?" Major Patton pointed out. Inside, Lily was furious. How dare the major bring that up? It was true. Because Lily's great-grandfather had been a former military general, her family, the Wrights, had enjoyed the benefits of military protection and service for years. So, it wasn't fair to use this as a reason not to protect Lucas. She sighed and said, "I understand, Major Patton. I'm sorry. Then, I'll leave you to it. Report to me every week through our private line," the major said, saluting Lucas. Then he left. Lily heard the door close behind her. When she was alone with Lucas, she lifted her chin and looked him in the eye. Damn, he looked good, but Lily had to remind herself that she hated this man. This was the man she had loved, given her all to, and who had left without a word. "How have you been, Lily?" Lucas finally asked. His voice was deep and slightly rough. "It's been a long time."
"Oh."
Lily let out a sarcastic laugh. "So you do recognize me? I'm sorry about our last meeting. I wasn't fully prepared," Lucas explained. "And you're prepared now? Let me guess, you set this whole thing up?" Lily asked. Lucas just smiled in his seat. He didn't confirm or deny it. He offered the chair in front of his desk and said, "Please sit down, Lily. I'd love to catch up. What would you like? Coffee or tea?" "I don't need anything. I'll only sit and talk to you if you tell me why you left. Where have you been? And what on earth did you do in the past 10 years that you disappeared? Why haven't you contacted anyone, not even your parents?" Lily raised her voice. "How could you throw away years of friendship, love, and brotherhood like that?" Lily said this because Lucas had also been very close to her brothers. "If you didn't want to be with me, you could have just said so," she shouted. Overwhelmed by her emotions, she took a deep breath and closed her eyes, trying to calm down. "Whoever said I didn't want you, Lily? I came back just to get you back," Lucas said frankly. His answer stunned Lily. Her eyebrows shot up. "Really? You want me back after 10 years of being gone?" "Are you crazy?" she scoffed. "You left me. You made me miserable, and you made our families fight. You only left me a note telling me not to wait for you," Lily said, getting more and more irritated by his calmness. "What makes you think I want you back, Lucas? Newsflash, I've moved on just like you asked. I also have a boyfriend." Once again, Lucas didn't answer. But Lily saw his expression darken. He leaned back in his chair and ran his fingers through his dark, brown hair. "Do you think I care if you don't want me back? Is your boyfriend half as good as me?" "I bet he isn't," he said. His answer frustrated Lily to no end. "Where have you been?" she asked. "I can't tell you that," Lucas replied bluntly.
"Why?"
"Why can't you?" Lily asked. "If you can't tell me, I can't trust you. The past 10 years are in my past. Don't they say a person's past shouldn't matter in a relationship?"
Lucas asked.
He stood up and walked towards Lily. "Come back to me, Lily. I'll give you everything you want." "What I want is for you to leave me alone," Lily said coldly. Lucas stood in front of Lily and let out a soft chuckle. At first, he seemed amused, but then he said firmly, "Anything but that." He grabbed her wrist and repeated, "Come back to me, Lily." Chapter 6, The Boyfriend. "You know what, Lucas? You're insane," Lily yelled as she yanked her arm away from him. The force of her movement made the necklace around Lucas's neck bounce, revealing the golden tag with her name carved on it. Instantly, Lily froze. Her heart skipped a beat, and her eyes were fixed on the pendant. This was the same necklace and pendant Lucas had bought the week before he disappeared. More questions flooded her mind. Why is he still wearing this? Does he still care? If he cares, then why did he leave in the first place? Tears welled up in Lily's eyes as she stared at the pendant. Looking into his eyes, she pleaded, "Please, Lucas, tell me why you left, and maybe we can clear up all this misunderstanding." Lucas maintained eye contact. He clenched his jaws and said, "I can't, Lily. I just can't." "Then Lily snapped. "I don't want this assignment. Talk to the major about it, because there's no way I can stand being in the same room as you, let alone breathing the same air." She grabbed her duffel bag and threatened, "I'm leaving. Don't you dare say a word about it to Major Patton." "Lily," Lucas called, but Lily was already at the door. The bodyguards outside tried to reason with Lily, but Lucas told his men, "Let her go. You'll only get hurt. She's not an ordinary lion." "Good that you know," Lily shouted as she headed towards the lift. "Where are you flying to, miss?" the ticketing agent at Rose Hills Airport asked. Where did she want to go? Lily didn't know. She pursed her lips and wiped the tear that had fallen down her face. "Excuse me, let me make a quick phone call," she told the woman. Lily stepped aside and found a quiet corner in the airport. "Fuck. Why am I crying? I really hate you, Lucas," she cursed. She took out her phones. She had two, her personal phone and the one for the mission. She dialed Jake's number. "Lily, what a surprise. I thought you were on a mission?" Jake, her boyfriend, answered after 2 rings. "Yes, things have changed and I need you, Jake." "I need to talk to you," Lily said. "You're in Lockwood, right?" "I'm in Rose Hills. Can I see you for a few hours?" "I won't interrupt your business trip. I'll go to be with Aiden after we talk." She sighed and repeated, "I want to see you." "Of course, babe. Come to Lockwood. I'm staying at Blue Intercontinental. Call me when you arrive, and we'll have dinner together." "I missed you," Jake said, but Lily felt a lump in her throat and couldn't say the same thing back. Instead, Lily replied, "Thank you, Jake. I'll see you in about 2 hours." The truth was, Lily hoped that seeing Jake would make her stop thinking about Lucas. So, she went out of her way to meet him. There she is, Jake exclaimed. His beautiful gray eyes sparkled when he saw Lily. He hugged her and kissed her on the lips. God, I miss you so much, but dating a military woman is tough, he said. Lily blushed. I'm sorry you have to put up with that. It's okay, Lily. I understand. Come inside. Let's have a great meal together, Jake said, taking her hand. They went to the main restaurant, and Jake quickly ordered Lily's favorite food. As they ate, Lily studied Jake. He had dark hair and sharp features. He almost looked like the old Lucas, except his eyes were gray. Suddenly, Lily dropped her fork. She realized with a shock that Jake looked somewhat like the Lucas she had known in the past. Oh my God, Lily thought to herself. She had probably noticed this before but had lied to herself. Did I start dating Jake because he resembled Lucas a bit? Babe, is something wrong? Jake asked, interrupting her thoughts. Nothing. Lily quickly recovered and forced a smile. She drank her wine and poured more, downing 3 glasses in a row. Whoa. Jake laughed. Are you sure you're okay, Lily? Lily nodded.
Yes.
I'm just stressed about work, she said. Jake was the heir to a well-known construction company in Brayton, the Base Power Construction. He was currently the marketing director. Lily had met him through her brother, Liam. Liam had introduced Jake to Lily as one of their new contractors. Jake often traveled to other cities to make proposals for the company. That was why he was in Lockwood. Lily, my job here will be extended for another week, Jake said. But I'll see you after that, right? Since your mission is cancelled. Lily smiled faintly. Yes, it's fine. Do what you need to do here. Aiden wants me to spend time with him, she replied. She finished her meal, and just as she did, she saw a familiar figure walking towards them. It was her former high school classmate, Alicia Bennett. Immediately, Lily frowned. What is Alicia doing here? She asked. Jake turned in surprise. Alicia?
Oh.
He shrugged. I don't know. Alicia Bennett was obsessed with Jake. She made no secret of her admiration for him, posting about it on social media and telling their high school classmates. She had long, straight blonde hair and dressed like a model, the complete opposite of Lily. As expected, Alicia walked over to their table. Fancy meeting you here, she said with a smile. Really? You didn't stalk Jake, did you? Lily asked, looking at her boyfriend. So what if I did? Alicia rolled her eyes. I have the right to do that. Jake sneered at Alicia's words. He seemed disgusted by her. Ignore her, babe. Eat your food. Don't waste your breath on her, he said to Lily. The truth is, I'm with my friends. I guess I'll be on my way, Alicia said before joining a table where 3 other girls were waiting for her. Is she bothering you? I could ask my cousin to teach her and her family a lesson, Lily offered to Jake. Jake just laughed. This is the first time I've seen her in Lockwood. Don't worry about unimportant people, Lily. Let's just enjoy our dinner, he said. After dinner, Jake invited Lily to his hotel room. She agreed. She wanted to convince herself that she had moved on with Jake, but when he kissed her on the lips, she pulled away.
I'm sorry, Jake.
I didn't expect to stay longer. I booked a flight to Brayton at 10 in the evening, she said, making an excuse. Oh, that's a shame, Jake murmured. He smiled and cupped her face. Don't worry. I'll always understand you because I love you, Lily.
You know that.
I'll always be patient with you. He gently took her hand. Let's go and get you a taxi, he said. Earlier that day, Lucas watched Lily leave the headquarters of the Thompson group of companies on the security surveillance video. His eyes were fixed on her slender figure and her cute face that hadn't aged over the years. Like him, Lily was in her early 30s, but she looked so young. Lucas didn't want her to leave, but Lily was a force to be reckoned with. It wasn't the right time. He needed the perfect opportunity, and he was determined to find it. He looked up at his assistant and said, Ryan, have someone follow her. Keep me updated on her whereabouts. Yes, sir. Ryan, a well-built man with blonde hair, replied. Lucas went back to work for the rest of the day. He didn't leave his office and didn't plan to until nightfall. Ryan entered his office again to give an update. Sir, Miss Wright went to Lockwood to see her boyfriend, Mr. Jake Bass. They had dinner together, and she spent a few minutes in his hotel room, he reported. Jake. Lucas's anger flared. The pen in his hand snapped. The veins on his neck bulged, and his jaws were clenched. Find out everything you can about this man, Jake Bass. I want all his dirt in 24 hours. Do you understand, Ryan? He ordered. Yes, sir, Ryan replied. 10 years ago, he had left, but now he was back. Lucas would do whatever it took to have Lily back in his life. ####Chapter 7. Cheated on. Mommy, are you okay? You've been daydreaming a lot lately, Aiden asked. Lily was helping her son with his homework. While Aiden wrote his answers in the book, Lily was lost in thought. Sorry, buddy.
I was thinking about something, Lily said.
Are you done? Almost. I'm so glad your mission got cancelled, Aiden said. Lily wasn't sure if Lucas had cancelled the request for military protection. Since Major Sergeant Patton hadn't called, she assumed nothing had been officially decided. She supposed she still had to make that weekly report to the Major at the end of the week, even if it was false. In the past 3 days, Lily had thought a lot about Lucas. She was angry that he wouldn't tell her what had happened to him over the years. She was even more furious that he wanted her back and expected everything to be the same as before. When Aiden finally finished his homework, they had snacks in the kitchen. In the middle of their meal, Lily's phone rang. She picked it up and heard a woman say, Miss Wright. This is Anna from Emerald Residential Tower. Mr. Bass has returned from a business trip and wants you to join him for dinner. The woman was talking about her boyfriend, Jake Bass. Lily was confused because Jake was supposed to be on a business trip until next week. And if Jake wanted to have dinner with her, why was he having the residential building receptionist call her? Still, she didn't think too much about it and replied, I'll be there. Thank you, Anna. Lily tried to call Jake, but his phone was off. So, she left Aiden in the care of her parents. After changing into something comfortable, she went to the Emerald Residential Tower. When she arrived, Anna greeted her warmly and gave her a keycard. Mr. Bass asked you to let yourself in, Miss Wright, she said. Lily took the keycard and took the lift to the 10th floor, where Jake's flat was. As instructed, she let herself in. She was about to call for Jake from the living room when she heard moans coming from the 2nd floor. Immediately, she frowned.
Jake.
I love it.
More.
The closer she got to the staircase, the louder the moans became. Lily carefully went up to the 2nd floor and found that the sounds were coming from Jake's room. The door was open. Clothes were scattered on the floor. Inside, Lily saw her boyfriend, Jake, completely naked and on top of a woman she knew well. It was Alicia Bennett. Of all the people Jake could have been with, it had to be her. Well, I guess Alicia got what she wanted, Lily thought, remembering how this woman had always wanted Jake. To Lily's surprise, she didn't feel anything. Shouldn't she be screaming and crying? But she was completely numb.
Why?
She probably already knew the answer. She had never truly moved on with Jake. Somehow, Lily was relieved. Aiden had been right all along. Jake didn't deserve to be Aiden's father. Lily walked into the room and said coldly, I guess this means we're over, Jake. Jake scrambled off Alicia. His face turned as white as a sheet when he saw Lily.
He stammered, Fuck no. Lily, I'm sorry.
Goodbye, Jake, Lily said before leaving. Lily, wait.
Lily, I'm sorry.
Jake called. He chased after Lily as soon as he saw her step out of the residential building lobby. Stop, please. Lily,
I'm sorry.
I couldn't help it. I'm a man with needs, and you didn't want to be with me. Jake complained, grabbing her wrist. I gave in to temptation, and I'm sorry. I promise it won't happen again. I love you, Dash. You lied about where you were, Jake, Lily said, pulling her hand away. You said your business trip was extended, but instead, I find you at home, in bed with another woman, and the worst part is, it's Alicia. She's always been so open about wanting you. She didn't care that we were together. Now I understand why, Lily gasped. Because for all I know, you've been with her for Dash.
No, Lily.
It hasn't been that long, Dash. Oh, God. Lily shook her head. Forget it, Jake. It's over between us. I can't be with you anymore. Jake knelt in front of her and begged for forgiveness. But he probably realized she wouldn't change her mind. Lily, think carefully. You won't find another man who will love you with your baggage, Dash. Stop.
How dare you say that?
Do you want me to kill you right now? Because you know what I'm capable of, Lily said angrily. She knew Jake was referring to Aiden. So, was she supposed to settle for Jake just because she was a single mother? How long had Jake considered Aiden a burden? Lily found her car. Before getting in, she said, "I wish you and Alicia all the best. You deserve each other. Don't bother me anymore." She drove away to a nearby park to think. At the park, Lily sat on a bench and reflected on the recent events in her life. First, Lucas had returned, but someone wanted him dead. Then, Lucas had told her he wanted her back after 10 long years. And now, she had discovered that her boyfriend had been cheating on her. What did Lucas do in the 10 years he was gone? Did he have a girlfriend, or maybe more, and only now realized he loved me? She was asking questions that only Lucas could answer. What the hell is going on with my life? Lily thought before muttering. But then again, Lily, breaking up with Jake was for the best. Because with Lucas back, you're second-guessing all your future decisions. Oh my God, I can't believe I just said that. Lily slapped herself in the face at the thought of Lucas. 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 He was invading her thoughts more and more. Unexpectedly, her phone rang. She picked it up and heard her mother's voice. Her mother was crying as she said, "Lily, your father was rushed to the hospital. He suddenly fainted. The doctors took him into surgery. Aiden is with your Aunt Gabby now." "Oh, God. I'll be there," Lily said in a panic. When Lily arrived at the hospital, all her brothers were there, along with her uncle. The doctor walked up to them and told them about her father's condition. Chapter 8. Dr. Thompson? The aortic stent graft collapsed. Dr. Stephen informed the Wright family. That's what made him faint. We inserted another stent, and he's under observation. I feel like there's a but coming, Lily's oldest brother, Liam, said. Behind him, all of Lily's brothers were glaring at the doctors. The doctor sighed and admitted, "There's an endo leak. Even with the new stent, we can still see blood flowing outside the graft. This is putting pressure on the aneurysm." Lily's family gathered outside the recovery room to listen to Dr. Stephen. Her mother, her uncle, and all 5 brothers were naturally there. Lily's father, Caleb Wright, was still under observation and would be moved to a private room later. "You said you were the best at this." Lewis, another of Lily's brothers, shouted. Everyone started complaining to the doctor. "I specialize in aortic repair using stent grafts." "Yes, I'm the best at it," the doctor claimed. Last year, Caleb Wright had caught an infection that had led to an ascending aortic aneurysm. They had hired the best doctors in the state to treat their father. The solution they had chosen was to insert a stent graft. They had said it was less invasive and safer, but look at what had happened now. Stent grafts are still the best option with a higher chance of survival after the procedure, Dr. Stephen insisted. Open heart surgery has its risks and requires a very skilled surgeon. So, what happens if this endo leak continues? Lily asked. The doctor paused and weakly replied, "He'll need an ascending aortic replacement, an open heart surgery dash." "So, we're back to an open heart surgery anyway," Lewis barked. "Why did we go through the other procedure if an open heart surgery was the best solution?" Another of Lily's brothers asked bitterly. "This is unacceptable." Another one exclaimed, "Doctor, it seems like you're just experimenting with our father's condition." Lily's brothers were bombarding the doctor with questions and complaints, while her mother kept crying, worried about Caleb's health. Kyle Wright, Lily's uncle, pointed at the doctor and said, "Let me guess, your name is Dr. Quack." "No, I swear I did my best," the doctor pleaded. "All the doctors on my team offered Mr. Wright the best solution for his condition." "Okay, let's say my father needs an open heart surgery. Who's the best doctor who can perform it? Because we won't accept an unskilled surgeon. He or she has to be the best in heart or thoracic surgery." Liam asked coldly. The doctor froze. He looked at the family and said, "You didn't want to go to the best facility for heart and lung treatment dash. Do we need to if we can get the best doctor to come to us? We can pay the doctor any amount to come to Brayton City. Remember, that's how you ended up here, Dr. Stephen," Liam retorted. "Well, it just so happens that the best doctor for thoracic surgery right now is only treating patients at St. Dominique's Heart and Lung Center, Rose Hills," the doctor revealed. Lily immediately frowned. The Thompson Group of companies owns St. Dominique's Heart and Lung Center. In the past, Lucas's mother had been a well-known thoracic surgeon. But Dr. Chantel Thompson isn't performing surgeries anymore, is she? Lily asked, referring to Lucas's mother. Oh, I'm not talking about Dr. Chantel Thompson. I know she's retired. Look, I signed a confidentiality agreement, but I trust you won't say anything. I'm talking about her son, Lucas Thompson. He got his license abroad and has performed 5 of the most complex heart surgeries referred to their center in the past 3 months, the doctor said. I've already sent 2 of my patients there, Dr. Stephen added. They say he's the next big thing in thoracic surgery, but he's more focused on running his father's company than on actively practicing surgery. He only takes patients with complicated procedures and doesn't accept clients outside St. Dominique's. Fuck. Lucas is back. Lewis turned to Lily angrily. Do you know about this? Is Lucas really back, Lily? Lily's mother asked in shock. All her brothers, except Liam, asked the same question. Lily looked helplessly at Liam. Seeing that her brother wasn't going to say anything, she chose a safer answer.
No.
This is the first time I've heard about it, she said. I'm going to kill him, Lewis declared. I second that. Christoph, another of Lily's brothers, said. Wait. The doctor called everyone's attention. You know Dr. Lucas Thompson? Yes. All 4 of Lily's brothers replied.
Then.
The doctor pursed his lips. Perhaps you can kill him after he operates on your father? That's a good point, Lewis said. But after the surgery, I'm going to do whatever I want with him. Me too. Count me in. Lily's brothers were getting rowdy, so she called for their attention. Okay, stop. Before you think about what you want to do, remember that our father will still need postoperative care. I'll talk to Lucas. You all stay here with Mom and Dad, she said. Hours later, Lily was back in Rose Hills, standing in front of the Thompson Group of Companies headquarters. She sighed because she had never expected to be here again. Lily didn't need to introduce herself. For some reason, the security guards around the building knew who she was. She was given clearance to go to Lucas's office without any problems. When Lily entered Lucas's office, he was expecting her. Lily, what brings you back? Lucas asked calmly, leaning back in his seat. How did you get your medical license? Lily asked directly. Lucas frowned. He cleared his throat and replied, I don't know how you found out, Dash. A doctor from Brayton let it slip, Lily explained. I see, Lucas said casually. He shouldn't have done that, but what does this have to do with your visit? Lily took a deep breath and looked at Lucas with pleading eyes. Dad had an aortic stent graft procedure last year, and it collapsed today. There's an endo leak, and even after replacing the stent, it's still there. It looks like he'll need an operation. We want to make sure the doctor is the best. Are you the best one out there? She asked. I am. I may not have practiced in this country, but I've performed many similar procedures abroad, Lucas confirmed. He stood up and asked, What's Uncle Caleb's condition? Ascending aortic aneurysm. Dad had an infection that caused a blood clot, and it traveled to his heart. This happened last year, Lily explained. Lucas walked towards Lily. Do you want me to operate on Uncle Caleb? He asked. Can you promise you won't make any mistakes? Lily asked. I won't make any mistakes, Lucas replied. Then, can you do it? Lily asked. It seemed that Lucas was open to the idea. Asking him wasn't as hard as she had thought. I'll operate on Uncle Caleb in exchange for one thing, Lucas said. In a trembling voice, Lily asked, What is it? Lucas stared seriously into her blue eyes and said, Marry me tomorrow. Wait, what? Lily couldn't believe it. Just days ago, Lucas had said he wanted her back. How did it turn into a marriage proposal so quickly?